Yo, what's happening, people? Okay, so time for another walk and talk where I walk and I talk about something on my mind. And today I want to talk about YouTube and specifically how YouTube has changed me over the years and how I've changed over the many years I've been on YouTube. So I started on YouTube. I started being consistent on YouTube, I believe, around about August 2012, right? And since then, my content has changed a lot over the years. And I know that. I think that's, it's been 11 years, of course, right? But recently, I've been uploading some old videos that were on a different channel that have been previously unlisted. And I think I unlisted them at least 3 or 4 years ago. And so they've not been seen since then. And because I've been going through that channel thinking I want to revive, this is like a channel that went into a coma. Like, I've not uploaded on that channel for years, probably for about at least 2-3 years I haven't uploaded on that channel. And so that channel's been in a coma for a long time. It's been, in fact, it's been in a coma so long. YouTube sent me a message saying, yeah, you haven't uploaded on this channel for a while. And so we're just gonna take it off the YouTube monetization, the YouTube partnership program. If you don't upload in the next, I think it was like 30 days or something like that. And I didn't. So like, cool. So yeah, that channel's been in a coma for a while. But yeah, recently I've been going through it thinking, well, trying to decide what I'm gonna do with this channel, and just going through some of the videos on the channel and realizing, because I've forgotten about all these videos by now, that there's so much on there that have been unlisted that no one's seen for years now. And I'm going through some of this stuff thinking, man, I did some really cool stuff back then and I do want it to have a home. So I've been re-uploading them to this channel. And depending on when you're watching this video, they might be either all out already or there's still a few that's scheduled to come out over the next, week or so. But yeah, it's just like going through these videos and just really seeing how much I've changed and how much my content has changed, and just also how much my, I guess, general attitude has changed. And I guess that's part of the creative development, because when I started on YouTube back in 2012, I believe like my attitude at the time was that I just wanted to be, I knew I wanted to be consistent on YouTube. I knew I wanted to do something. And at the time I was making videos about movies. I did some montages, a couple of montages, but I was mostly doing like these analysis videos where I was talking about movies in this kind of very serious way. And eventually that kind of drifted into, talking about movies in a serious way, but then making a few jokes. And then eventually that kind of drifted into, making jokes about different subjects. And eventually that kind of drifted into just comedy, which is where that channel ended up being this comedy channel that eventually kind of drifted into making these sketches, and from that into these sort of short sketches and things like that, these like 1 minute, 30-second sketches. So it developed a lot over the years, and it came to a part, I guess the reason why I ended up stopping uploading, because I remember it was so it was during sort of the lockdown era where, and I was doing comedy, I was doing some stand-up comedy, and because I wasn't getting any gigs at the time, because you could get gigs, but there was a lot of places were kind of shut down, so it was a bit difficult, and I wasn't really pursuing it that much. And I did a few in that time, like I did a few stand-up gigs in that time, but ultimately it kind of felt like this is the time where if you are really into it, you need to be pushing it. And I wasn't pushing it. And I guess part of that deep down let me know that maybe this is not something I'm really into, because I like telling jokes, right? And I like trying to be funny and being humorous. But I guess the truth is that's not really where my passion lies. And I guess over the years where I've done various creative things, whether that's writing film scripts. How many people knew that, by the way? I wrote a film script, and it didn't get made, but I wrote a film script. In fact, I made a short movie, I want to say early 2000s, around about then. I actually made a short movie that got shown at a film festival. I think I might have that video on the channel, actually. I might have to double check. But anyway, just besides the point. I'll try and look for it and see where it is. But anyway, I made a short movie. So I guess I've always done kind of creative things, and then poetry, I did that for a while, spoken word. You know, that kind of came out of the blue for me. It wasn't something I was looking for. It just kind of happened where I saw a video and I just felt really inspired to start writing and then performing. And I did that for maybe about 10 years before that kind of drifted away. And I just kind of felt like I like poetry and I like writing and I like expressing myself in that form. But it just felt like the scene and everything that kind of surrounded it just wasn't really for me. And in all of that, I guess the real thing, or the main thing that I realized, was that when it comes to myself and the things that I'm, really passionate about, the things that, I really want to do, it isn't necessarily about being a comedian or being a poet or even being a filmmaker. And it's really just about being creative and finding ways to keep being creative. I guess for a long time been somebody who's liked different things, and I like to try different things, and I find it very hard to kind of stick in one area. That being said, there are consistencies within that inconsistency. I've always liked video games, I've always liked movies. I feel like that's the things that have kind of stuck. I've been a movie fan for probably since the 90s, and a video game fan maybe even longer than that. But yeah, when it comes to creativity, it's about trying to find different ways to be creative. And I feel like that's what this channel has kind of come to represent. Where I started this channel, and it was kind of like, I think when I originally started it, it was a place where I was posting some poetry videos, and I think I was posting some other videos from other poets as well. And I was talking to them about, their creative journeys, kind of like these mini interviews I was doing at the time. But I think like with all of that, through that, it kind of evolved into what it is now, which is this place where I just put out stuff that's on my mind, and I don't worry too much about, the type of content it is. And I know with YouTube, if you're trying to make it on YouTube, the general advice is given is that you have to find like a niche and be in that niche and stick to that niche. And I just find it hard to do that a lot of the time. In fact, during my poetry run, I remember there was a point where, I was really kind of pushing it with that poetry and really trying to, be in that world and get all the gigs and get books and things like that. And I sent an email to an event organizer to try and get onto one of their shows. And they never actually replied to me in the email, but I did see one of the people who runs the event at another event, just happened to see him. And when it happens, it's kind of weird because like, I know that I've sent them an email to see if I can get onto their show. I don't know if he's seen that email or not. I don't know if I should bring it up. Should I mention it? Should I say something? I've known the guy for a while, so should I use that? We're friends, and see if I can get, all these things you're kind of thinking at the time. But what ended up happening is that he actually brought it up to me, and he said something that ended up sticking with me for a long time. And he said to me that, I saw your email about being on a show, and he told me that one of the things that is going to prevent me from getting booked is that I'm hard to place. So this is something that I guess other people have seen in me from before I even realized it. But he said that I'm hard to place because organizers like to know where they're putting you. If they're going to book you, they want to know if they can put you with this person, that person, and know what type of show they can kind of promote. And I'm hard to place because I have quite a large range of different things that I was doing. Even within poetry, I was doing different types of poems and different styles. And he said I'm hard to place, and because of that, it's going to be difficult to get booked. And his advice to me was that I should find a niche. That comes again. Find something that you can kind of be known in that kind of area of poetry. And then after that myth, you could branch out. And it was good advice, and I do believe it is good advice. Same with YouTube, and you kind of find that niche. But at the same time, it did make me realize that that's just not me. That's just not me. And I actually appreciate him saying that to me, because he didn't have to. He could have just pretended like, he didn't see my email or whatever. He could have done that. I didn't bring it up, even though I was thinking whether I should or not, but I didn't bring it up, so he didn't have to say anything. But he said that, and he came to me and he's like, this is what's going to happen. And it's probably the single best advice anybody's given to me throughout the time I was doing it, because even though I didn't take the advice, it just let me know that this is who I am. He was seeing something in me, and I guess other people see something in me that I maybe hadn't fully realized myself at the time. But it did make me realize that that's just not me. I'm not that guy who sticks to one thing. And so I like that this channel has become this place where I could, if I want to talk about food, I can talk about food. If I want to ramble for however long this video is, I can do that. And even if it means that, you don't get big on YouTube, it just is what it is. I think it's more important for me to be expressive and to be creative and to show that creativity in various ways. Now, that being said, I also do feel like part of my YouTube development has been that, though that's the side of me, there is that side of me that just wants to do different things. There is that side of me that also likes to be a bit more structured and consistent. And I feel like some of my other channels represent that. So, for example, I do the movie channel where I talk about movies, right? And that allows me to talk about movies which I'm a big fan of and been a fan of for years. I'm also able to do it in a way that's hopefully humorous as well. So I'm able to express it in that way, and that represents that side of me as well. And also, there's a structure to the videos as well. So I'm able to, do something in a consistent way, but at the same time, the structure, I believe anyway, allows me to kind of express and experiment within that. So I feel like that helps me to express that side of me where I could be a bit more structured, but also still be creative within that structure. And then the podcast that I do allows me to just talk about these things with other creatives, and other people who are sort of doing similar things, and getting their opinions and views on creativity and in particular when it comes to movies and video games and things in that era, where we could talk about that and how it relates to life and expressions and all the things we talk about in that podcast. That helps you get that side of me out as well. So yeah, I feel like through it all, although there's been plenty of times when, with YouTube, where I've kind of been like, and one of the reasons why I feel like, I ended up unlisting the channel, listing the videos on the other channel, is that, because of trying to get into this whole thing about being consistent and, you can't make these types of videos, or these types of videos don't represent what I'm doing now, so I should unlist them so they don't get seen, and I should, getting into all that kind of thing. And although that, again, that's not bad advice, it also, kind of let me know that there's certain things about this whole thing that I'm not necessarily trying to get into, or not trying to really push in that way. And in the end, I'm just like, what, just let it be. Just let it be. So let me just put these videos up, let them do what they do, let people see them. Funny thing, actually, there's a video I made about flat Earth that I put back up on this channel, and it's already got some comments from people who I'm guessing didn't understand the video or probably didn't actually watch it, but I don't know. I mean, that happened back. I'm pretty sure that happened back when I posted it originally. I guess it's happening again now. It is what it is. It is what it is. People don't always watch your videos to just see the title and comment, but I can't help that. But yeah, I feel like what I'm doing now with YouTube just represents the different sides of me, and the different sides of, how I try to be, and how I guess things have evolved with me, and how my life has changed, and how it all kind of represents and comes out in this way. And I really like and appreciate that I can now do this, and can now just be like, this is what it is. This is me. all of me. Like that. Now that being said, I ain't gonna lie, man. I would like to make some money out of YouTube. Listen, I'm an old man, and I got bills to pay. I'm an old man. But yeah, I have been thinking about, like, because I mean, I work right now, right? And I spend about 30 to 40 hours a week working. And I guess I'm kind of thinking of it as like, okay, what if I can do something on YouTube and that could be like my job? You know what I mean? And that be the thing that I do for money, and everything else I can just keep as it is, where I'm just like being whatever. That's what I'm thinking, right? And I do have some ideas, and you know, I've shared some of those ideas, and I might share some more later on when I'm a bit nearer to finalizing things. But I do think about this sort of stuff, like what if I could do something where that could be considered like my job channel, and everything else is just like where I just express and create, and you know, don't worry about the money side of things too much. And but here's the thing about that, though, and this is the thing that I feel like where YouTube is somewhat separated from a lot of other things, that even if you are going to be a bit more focused on the money side of things, you still have to do something that you like. Because ultimately, if you go to be consistent in something, which is how, you know, you get recognized, or the general kind of advice is you need to be consistent. If you're going to be consistent in something, then you need to be doing something that you can be consistent in, right? Which means you have to do something that you like. Because if you're doing something that you don't like, it's going to be very difficult to be consistent. It's going to feel more and more like a chore, more and more like, you know, like work, you know, and that could be difficult to maintain. And also, I think perhaps more importantly, certainly just as important, is that it needs to be sustainable. You know, because it could be a while before you make any kind of money on YouTube. I mean, one thing, you need over 1,000 subscribers, you need 4,000 watch hours, and that could take a while before that can happen. I mean, sure, some people get, you know, real lucky and it happens in a week or whatever, but you know, it could take a while. So it needs to be something that's sustainable, and not just like financially sustainable. Of course, that's important too. You know, you need to be able to afford, you know, to make the videos that you're making and not go broke doing it. But mentally sustainable, you know, it needs to be sustainable with your time, you know, sustainable with your current lifestyle, because you can't, I mean, you can, but you probably shouldn't just quit whatever job you're doing and go straight into making videos on YouTube full time and thinking like you're going to be a millionaire in a week, and it just doesn't happen that way. So yeah, like I feel like even in the money side of things, like you really do still need to be true to yourself. You know, you really do still need to be thinking about, you know, what can you do? If you're going to try and make money out of it, you still need to be thinking about who are you and what you can do that is actually you, in a way that, you know, hopefully other people want to watch a million times or whatever, you know. But it still kind of comes back to that creativity and genuine art of who are you and what you and you know what you are about, or what you want to be about, you know. And I guess through it all, through everything that I've learned and come across and changed and evolved over the years, I guess the thing that I probably realized this a while ago, I don't know, or maybe the thing that's kind of binding everything, is that the most important thing about YouTube, whether you're here for the money, whether you're here for whatever reason, to be on this platform, you really do have to find a way to be you. You know, you really have to find a way to just be you. Because if you're doing stuff that isn't you, whether you're trying to make money, whether you're just trying to whatever, it's just never going to last, because it's going to get real frustrating, real hard, and really just like, and I've been there, you know, I've been in that mindset where you're just trying to get everything out, whether it's like you're trying to follow this algorithm, whether it's just trying to make the content that you think other people want to watch. You know, I've been on all these different places over the years, and it's never lasted. And it's led to me unlisting a bunch of videos because I thought maybe this is the best thing to do at the time. And maybe it was, you know, for various reasons. I mean, if I didn't, I wouldn't be here now, right? So you know, you just kind of ebbs and flows as to decisions you make. But But yeah, you know, I kind of lost my point, but you get what I'm saying. The point is you need to find ways to be you. And I guess that's really the whole kind of binding thing of everything. But you know what? This video's long enough. I've been talking for flipping ages. So let me stop right now. I think you get the point. I rambled while talking. Rambled while talking? Well, it make no damn sense. Anyway, till whenever, if ever, peace.